Hey, what's going on, everyone? It is B. Avery, and I got my home slice downstairs, Mr. Lamont Tyson. We are back talking it. Welcome to Derry. This is episode 3, title Starting to Like Rainbows. I actually had to look it up on Chat GPT to get that title. I don't have a synopsis. Lamont, I'm coming to you early right now. Not only do I want to know how you feel about the episode, I want to know, why can it, the clown, the demon entity, why can it leave the woods? Rose was like, hey, we safe now. We safe. You don't got to run no more. We good. Wait. Why we got to get out of here? Why can't he leave the woods? Can you keep a secret? And then it jumps forward in time to present day, or 1962. What are your thoughts, sir? What are your theories? I'm giving you the thumbs up right now. Like, let me know, why can't the deity, the demon, it, or whatever the hell it is, we're going to talk about it. Why can't it lead for us? What are your thoughts there, sir? What are your thoughts?
I wasn't as floored by this episode as I were the first two. That's not saying it wasn't a good episode. And when it comes to this demon entity, this entity must be in some kind of enchanted forest where the natives put a spell on the forest, or they put a spell on the lands that allows him to be captured and trapped just to the forest, because they've introduced that we've got magical things going on in the series. And so my best guess assumption is that the natives who own the land, we learned that they owned the land prior, must have done some kind of rain dance, some enchantment to keep him stuck in that forest. That's what I assume, because you saw him. He was walking on all fours. The minute they got out of that forest, it was all good.
Yeah, it was all good, man. And I have to say, I do agree with you. I did not like this episode as much as I did the first two. Again, not that it's bad, it's the effects. The effects were, they just weren't the best, especially when you coming from episode 2. Ronnie, when she was having that nightmare of her mother giving birth to her and then the stomach trying to eat her up, man, that's some of the scariest looking stuff I've seen in a while. It looked photoreal. At the end of the episode 2, where Lily was in the grocery store and she saw her dad in the pickle jar and it was attacking her like a little octopus, that looked real. But this old man, that the little boy Francis, who was General Shaw when he grew up, when he saw him in the circus and in the fair, whatever the hell it was, saw that old man, and then he saw him in the forest scared, that it just didn't look real. At first I was like, oh, okay, he gonna get him. But I'm just like, this doesn't look real. I don't know if it was because it's in the daytime, but no, that's not an excuse, because for what I'm about to say. And what was also frustrating, Lamont, is I hate when somebody is being chased by whatever. And then when they finally catch them, they don't do anything. This old man, demon it creature, was just standing over the little boy Francis, growling, until Rose, hit him with the slingshot and his blood started, spraying everywhere and floating everywhere, which, I wonder what that's about. But that bothered me, man. And also at the very end, where the group of kids were in the forest and they're getting haunted by, Rich was getting haunted by his cousin Tito and Susie, the girl that died in episode 1, and everybody else. None of that looked real, bro. It all just looked fake. And I'm just like, what happened? Now, to give Warner Brothers credit, they did send out an email like, hey, these are the first 5 episodes. Episodes 4 and 5 are not finished. And so, just kind of bear with us. But they didn't say that about episode 3. They just said that about 4 and 5. And if like sometimes in Hollywood, they will, it does come down to the wire of them trying to edit and distribute and, get their content out. The Scorpion King with The Rock that came out like the early 2000s, they released that movie in theaters and it wasn't even finished. But that was 20 something years ago. Respectfully, I don't think it's a valid excuse. I don't know. Am I tripping, or do you kind of agree with what I'm saying as far as the effects are concerned?
Oh, 100%. I was sitting here as someone who has circumnavigated Hollywood to a degree, and the special effects that threw me for a loop, ladies and gentlemen, and B. Avery, was when the kids was in the graveyard and they was on their bikes. That shit looked like it was the same thing that came from the Wicked Witch chasing Dorothy on her bicycle. That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
Only it was with a volume wall. I can tell that was recorded on the volume wall. Those ghosts that was chasing them, looked like the same ghost that they used in Ghostbusters from 1988 when I was 8, B. Avery. That's how bad the graphics got at the end. I didn't mind the old entity in the beginning in the forest. I thought it was creepy. And ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake, that was the same guy from the circus. I thought it was creepy, but I went with it. But the luster, the appeal kind of got lost this episode because of these creatures not being as threatening. And we saw Francis be able, Francis loved to get him a little taste of that natives.
Yeah,
Okay. Francis gave up his little slingshot,
you know what I'm
and
saying?
lo and behold, that wound up coming full circle because that slingshot wound up saving his life, we think. But
Right.
as B. Avery said, audience, Francis should have been mowed up like the lawn, the first of spring. It should have been mowed up, but he didn't because they be playing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's unfortunate, but hey, maybe they'll either finish the episode by the time this is released, or I don't know, or episode 4 and 5 will be better. It's not a trash episode. I just,
No.
I just really those effects was really jarring to me. What I do like about the episode though is these child actors can act, and that's
Oh
just
yeah.
not common. I'm thinking about the scene right now where Lily and Ronnie were in the bathroom, and she was like, "I'll do whatever I can to make it right." And here's the camera and all that. Just their little facial expressions and pauses before a dialogue is going back between each other. They're just kind of thinking and looking into space. So what's going to come next. I like that. It was very effective, and so I just got to give it to them there in that scene, and just really all the child actors, across the board. For me, I mean, children can act, but it just stands out a little bit more for me in this series. I mean, children have been
Mhm.
acting forever, but sometimes they succeed, sometimes they don't. But they're winning right now in this series and this episode. And something else that I did like about the episode, Lamont, is it raised a ton of questions. It did. We have Halloran and his relationship with Major Hanlon. We have Francis Shaw, General Shaw, and Rose in their relationship. We also have Ronnie's father in jail, and how what's going on there. Lily's relationship with the housemaid at Juniper Hill at the very beginning. I mean, it's not just like one story. I mean, it's kind of like branching out like a tree, and I don't know where we're going to end up. And I mean, that is fun. I hope they're I want a nice conclusion. I know everything is not going to be wrapped up by the end of this season. I think I heard the director say that we're going to get 3 seasons, and each season they're going to go back even further in the past, like every 20 or 27 years, to show like the true origin. Because when your boy Halloran, the psychic, was having his episode, you saw all those bodies floating up.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm assuming those are all the victims of It the Clown from the past number of decades, and it was a mountain of bodies. So there's just a lot to explore as far as this is concerned. I'm excited to know all of the just like what are the rules? Because sometimes people on the outside they can't see the nightmare or the hallucinations, but sometimes they can. Like, why was Rose able to see the monster in the forest? Which was Francis's nightmare. But when Ronnie's father and grandmother came and saved her, they didn't see that nightmare. Maybe because they didn't reveal some fear to the entity, to the demon. I don't know. I'm just kind of rambling, speculating right here, but I am excited to go down this rabbit hole. Am I tripping, or you kind of agree, disagree? Where you at on that? And
I'm with you.
I know I said a lot too. So
I'm with you. It's just that this particular episode, it lost steam for me. Just lost some steam. That doesn't mean that it's erased my intrigue, because I want to see how these things stack up on each other. But there were a couple of things that lost a little intrigue, and there were a couple of things that I smiled and said I like where they're going with this. For example, B. Avery, the kids kind of remind me of the kids of Stranger Things. I almost feel like this is a mini Stranger Things,
oh yeah.
kind of reincarnated with
Yeah.
fear, more horror. And when Lily and Ronnie came together and said that they need to get proof, they're going to photograph this entity, but neither one of them knew how to like get the prints done. I immediately said, I'm gonna come up here and tell B. Avery, didn't I tell you that Will was gonna save the day at some point in time? I said that last review. I immediately knew who was gonna get those prints. It was Will, and they kind of gave Will a hero's moment at the end, which I know we'll get there. But I think that the way they're setting this story up, we're not going to get a complete circle by the end. I mean, there's so much going on with Hollering and handling the double H's, not triple H, y'all, the double H's, and they're black. It's going to be something going on here, man. And I don't know we're going to be able to finish it all in close all everything up in this one season.
Exactly. Actually, before I ask that, did you get a chance to check out the opening credits?
I did.
Okay. Is there anything that's jumping out at you like, ooh, what does this mean? What does that mean? What's going on here? And if not, that's fine. I'm just kind of curious.
No, like I'm looking at it, trying to figure things out. And what I should have done is rewind it again. But I'm gonna rewind it again, and I'm gonna actually slow it down and take notes.
Okay.
Today, audience, I was a bit rushed today in trying to get this done. So I didn't have time to like really go through it so that I can give you guys a full breakdown of what I think is in there that they're giving us. But I will be sure to do it on the next episode.
Yeah, I don't mean to break the fourth wall, but this was a struggle for both of us to get this coordinated. We in different parts of the country, time zones, and we be busy and all that. But hey, we're here for you guys because we want to and all that good stuff. How do you think it's going to turn out with Ronnie's dad? He's in jail and he's lying like, hey, I got a sworn statement here about a woman that saw you. Don't give me no bull jive about you being at the house in bed. Don't insult my intelligence, man. F you, man. Leave this man alone. Lock up everybody that had access to the theater. You think he gonna get out of jail, man? You think a white mob is gonna come and hang him or something like that? Because this is 62. You know, what do you think? What you think he gonna get out of there? The pitch.
Not only is it 62, but it's 62, and we're in a town where these Anglo-Saxons seem like they're possessed. Now, if for those that want to deep dive and are paying attention, like me and B. Avery, yes, this entity has been chasing and eating and getting rid of kids. But have y'all noticed none of the black kids have been taken away yet? And everybody that seems to be immune to the entity or have some kind of deflectory defense against the immunity, they're minorities. Whether it's Ronnie to some degree, Rose, who's a Native American, Holloman, who's black and has some kind of psychic rapport with the entity. There's something about these minorities that's a brewing. And I really think that the dad is going to get out of jail because the officer's trying to coerce this man. Yeah. The officer tried to play him with cigarettes, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody know black folks don't smoke no Pall Malls. We smoke Newports, damn it. And the officer went up there and pulled out these stupid cigarettes to try to play this man. And that dad, he's going to get out of there, B. Avery. He's going to be down with the team, but the Stranger Things team number 2, and he's going to get to the bottom of what's going on.
Right on. Now, Lamont, this is my prediction right here. This is 62. We know that there was a movie, the original It movie that came out in 85 and then 2017 and 2019. So we know It the Clown don't die. He's still alive in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, or whatever the hell. At one point, when General Shaw, grown-up General Shaw, or baby Francis, he was in the office, he had his other colleague, and he pulls out the cigar box that has the slingshot in it that is tied to the entity. They're having a conversation about, and this brought up too. At the end of episode 2, they find the car from 1935 car line. So what, that 28 years or something like that, if my math is correct, of the 1935 John Dillinger, gangster at that time, body shot up, car shot up. They had skeletons in the car, but when they showed it here, the skeletons were gone. Before I continue on, what happened to the bodies? What do you think? I have no clue.
the bodies are in that sewer that Holloman saw in the very end. That's where all the bodies is at.
Okay, okay. What he said, what General Shaw said was, what we're looking for was buried 300 years ago.
Mhm.
How does he know that? He wasn't alive. I mean, this is not 2025. They don't have all the technology back then that we have today. I mean, they are using Halloran as a psychic. Did Halloran figure out some math and be like, yeah, over here 300 years ago? I mean, I want that to come back full circle. I mean, I'm just really interested. And also, another reason why I asked you about the intro and my prediction is towards the end of the opening credits, we saw it looked like a big bomb was going off in the city or something like that. It looked like they were trying to nuke or bomb the city to get rid of Derry.
Mhm.
And I think that that may, well, I don't know because I'm kind of rambling here. I'm sorry. If you look at the Red Band trailer for this that came out about a week ago, there's a scene to where there are soldiers in the sewers with their guns pointed towards the clown. I'm pretty sure they died, but it looks like on a large scale, or maybe a small scale, the government, the Air Force, like, okay, something's going on. We need to go down here and figure out why these kids are disappearing in the sewers. Now, on top of that, when Halloran was back in the base recovering from his little mission, he had a conversation with Sean, was like, hey, give us a place to kick it. But when Shaw was about to leave, he was like, come back. I got to tell you something. It saw us, and I don't feel like it should have saw us. I kind of feel like if we don't stop what we're doing, something bad is going to happen. So my theory is this: General Shaw is going to try to find this entity to get control of Operation Precept or Paperclip, and it fails. And they're like, you know what? We cannot get rid of this demon, this entity. Let's just sweep it under the rug, keep it quiet, keep it classified, and just let it thrive and kill children here and there. And that's just our sacrifice or something like that. Does that seem plausible to you, or am I cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs?
It could be plausible, but I'm starting to think that can we even trust Francis Shaw? I
Mm,
don't know if we can really trust Francis Shaw,
why is that?
um, because the way that the writers are jumping back and forth from what happened to Shaw as a child to him and Rose now, not to mention Rose hasn't seen him in like 40, 50 years. So
Mhm.
we don't know what he's been through. Maybe he's trying to sacrifice some people to get some demon energy out of his life. We don't know. I don't trust Shaw. I kind of don't trust Holloman.
I was just about to
And the
ask you
reason
that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And the reason I don't trust Holloman is because it seems like the entity can possess him to a small degree. Holloman was about to kill himself, and if it wasn't for handling, he would have jumped out that plane, and there goes your psychic connection to this entity. And I kind of don't like how friendly Holloman was with Miss K, excuse me, Miss Charlotte at the dinner table.
Mhm.
A little too friendly for me.
I feel you.
And
I feel you.
the fact that Holloman,
Holleran with an R. Sorry.
Holloran, excuse me, knew about Hannelin's child and he had never told him. Hannelin is so smart. He figured this out, B. Avery. He felt whatever psychic Professor X vibes Halloran was giving him when he was in his house,
Yeah.
when he was in the house trying to beat him up. And now he's at his own house predicting things that happen to his kid. I can't trust that. Even though he said he's going to protect them. He said he's going to protect them. He said that because handling the part of your brain that's supposed to secrete fear,
Mhm.
handling ain't got that no more. So he said, you ain't got to worry about me. Okay, well, what about my wife? What about my son? Who does have to worry about you? I need some questions answered, B. Avery. Maybe you got the answers for me.
Well, I my thing is this. I mean, Halloran is questionable. Why did they name these characters both so similar? Seriously, I'm looking at the names. Halloran and Hanlon.
That's why I call them the black double H's,
I
not
mean,
triple H's, the double H's.
HALLORANN and HALLON. I mean, my goodness gracious, and make them both black. Anyway, it's crazy. But well, the way I'm not to the I'm not where you were at as far as not trusting Halloran. Um,
Mhm.
I feel you with Shaw. I want to like Shaw, but at the same time, I'm not gonna cape for him. You know what I'm saying? I just like James Remar as an actor.
I
Um,
like him as an actor too.
yeah, I don't know something about his voice, but and his presence. But I mean, I'm holding out hope for Halloran, the psychic, because I don't see an alternative motive with him. The only reason he was to get together with Hanlon, Major Hanlon or Leroy, is because he was assigned to him. He didn't be like,
Mhm.
hey, sign me up with this dude over here. And also, I just feel different about the conversation they had on the porch. He was like, look, usually, bro, when people are facing death, they think about their family and regrets. You was analyzing, so I know not to f with you. I know you just
Mhm.
said that, but I mean, to me, that was kind of honorable and just straight up, man to man. No chaser. So I don't think that he would. I don't think he would double cross him or anything like that. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I'm holding out hope for Halloran. Y'all let us know what y'all think in the comment section. You got a response to that, or are you good?
Halloran could double cross several people in this show that we might come to love. So it might not be Hanlon. It could be Hollering double crossing Rose. It could be Hollering doing something to the kids. It could be Hollering doing something to folks' wife. It, I don't trust him, and I don't know enough about him and his backstory and what brought him to this point for me to trust him.
I don't trust Rose.
What?
I don't trust Rose.
What?
Um, I want to. I It's just something about her. It's just something about her. I think it's the way they edited the episode, because when they went back to 1908, where because at the very beginning, when the deity was growling over Francis as a child, it cut, and then it jumped to 62. But then it went back and it showed them running out of the forest, and that's where they had that conversation. I know we already talked about that. And she said, "Can you keep a secret?" What's the secret? That there's a demon in the forest, and you trying to keep it secret? Why? Tell everybody to not go in there and put some signs up. Like what's going on? And then her suggestion at the local town meeting or whatever. Yeah, we're gonna get send a letter, a cease and desist, and then we're gonna file an official complaint with the government. Nobody was cool with their plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, this is it seemed like she was kind of stalling for something else. And
Mhm.
I don't know. Now, I know that General Shaw or Francis said that he didn't remember her until he got the letter. But maybe she sent the letter to him. No, maybe she still remembered him because she's
Mhm.
been in the town this whole time and was trying to send him a message or something like that. Like, hey, this is what's going on. And I could be wrong because, they was having a conversation about, he was lying, talking about, we're trying to do soil to lay pipes, to bring in water. Maybe they both trying to double cross each other. I don't know, but it seems like you do trust Rose, or you don't think that she's doing something nefarious. Where you am I right, wrong? Where you?
One, I one. If there's two characters on this show, I 100% trust. It is Rose and it is Ronnie. Those are two characters I wholeheartedly trust.
Okay.
Now, the thing about Rose that can be mysterious to people, Rose knows something in terms of magic, in Native American spells. She knows something
Hmm.
because she wasn't as afraid of the entity as Shaw was when they were kids. I
Right.
mean, she literally knew how to use that slingshot to draw blood on something that's supposed to be an entity, not a human being. So I think that her and her ancestry might be responsible for how this entity got there. And, she's trying to keep that a secret, but if that was the case, Francis would know that secret right now. It wouldn't be a thing. And maybe there's something else sacred on that ground that ties the entity to Derry. And she knows it and doesn't want them to get it. And that's part of why they want to keep their land. But at the end of the day, of course, the natives want to keep their land because this land was all their land at one point in time. And then somebody came and pulled a rug from underneath their feet and gave it and told them you can have what you own back for pennies on the dollar. And so I can see like her ancestors, since they're talking about 300 years going back, I can see that the ancestors released this type of demon entity to put fear into the hearts of American soldiers that was taking their land. I could easily see that since they done brought that up. And then you got your boy, that's Will's friend, talking about where he come from
Oh Lord.
in yeah, doing spells.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could see all that coming together.
Yeah. Do you feel sorry for him? Because okay, he was lying. He was trying to make friends. He was like, it's hard to make friends. Will was capable for him. Little boys, little girls, you don't got a lie to kick it, man. Just be honest, be yourself. Somebody don't like you, find new friends that do like you. You know what I'm saying? And Rich is okay. I do like Will. Bro, I just gotta know, how is Halloran a psychic? How did that come to be? How did he link up with Shaw and they using him? I don't like the way they're using him either. They throwing all the black people in the nigger tent with the water coming through in a little container, and that did bother me. I don't think that Halloran is ignorant to the fact, though. I don't think he's just like, oh my God, he really likes and respects me, but he gonna get in where he fit in, and hopefully get out. But I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Um, I was laughing at the joke. What, it wasn't a joke, just little boy commentary in the diner. Hey man, who do you think in our class has the biggest tatas? I'm not trying to sound perverted, but I remember when I was in fifth grade, I had that exact same conversation with somebody in after school care. And I remember it like it was yesterday. And when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, this is like taking me back to my childhood. Cause that's just, what little kids talk about. In other words, it's normal, to a degree. You don't be
Right.
perverted and harass nobody, assault them or anything like that. But at that age, you're curious. You
Right.
are curious. You are curious. You are curious. I'm gonna give you the mic though, man. What is there anything that stood? I know we're not at the end, but what stood out to you that I haven't brought up yet that you are just dying to know? Get off your chest.
Um, I really like how they gave Will a mini hero arc. I really love that. You're uplifting, not only you're uplifting the minority, you're uplifting the minority who's in a good family, who is smart and he's not afraid or run from his intelligence. You uplifted him and showed him how that type of person can be a hero in a story this heavy. And I liked how Will got stuck in that cemetery, in that place by itself. He was stuck in there with
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
He was able to get the pictures of it, B. Avery.
yeah,
Not only did he get the pictures, he walked away from it with his bike and his flashlight, and then went back and developed the pictures for the girls.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I like his usage of words too, just like oh, like that was like, I thought you said it was your uncle. Well, it was my cousin, and I heard it from him. And it's like, what? You wasting our time with all this mumbo jumbo? We was like, it's all mumbo jumbo. Come on, ghosts and monsters. I can't get mad at him for that. Oh, you think I'm hallucinating? You think I just made it up? It's my imagination. Well, I believe you believe it. Like I don't know. It was just something about that I was like, I kind of respect where he's coming from. He don't want to just write him off, but he's trying to listen. But he's like, okay, come on now, give me a bone here.
Plus, he likes Ronnie. Did you see the way Ronnie hugged him, and then everybody gave in a big old group hug? That group behavior, nobody's dying in that group. Nobody.
I hope not, man. I think Rich may die. Rich
No,
may.
Rich not dying.
Lily may die at the very end. I really want Will and Ronnie to make it out.
They making it out.
I
I
really
can
do.
tell you that right now.
I want Charlotte to make it out. I want Hanlon to make it out. I want Halloran to make it out too, but if he doesn't make it out, I'll be fine with it.
Mhm.
Because I don't know. I don't want to just dog the brother, but he is kind of weird. it did try to jump out the plane. There was one conversation. Well, they was having a conversation on the porch, like, bro, what's going on? You're closing your eyes to see stuff. What is that? That's a conversation I would have had in the plane. When
Right.
man, what is going on, man? Are you okay? Snap out of it, snap out of it, snap out of it. I'm being silly, but I'm being serious at the same time. But actually, Lamont, I actually think we did cover everything. What did I leave out?
You didn't leave. Did you enjoy the things that we saw in the circus when they sent my man into the house of horrors?
Yeah, that was some pretty good effects. Them the Siamese twins with
Yeah.
the intestine still.
Umbilical cord.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. There you go, right there. And also at the very beginning, Lily was in Juniper Hill. I mentioned that briefly. I don't know if she's ever going to tell the truth. I saw a mutant demon wing baby come out the screen. What's up?
I think we're going to see that maid that she's befriended again. Because did you notice how that maid has a striking resemblance to Lily's mom? And Lily is able to have the kind of conversation with that woman that she can't have with her mama. So
Correct.
don't be surprised if we see this maid come back who actually believes in Lily at some point in time in the show to help out.
Do you trust her?
Yes,
You do?
100%. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I mean, look, you working there with crazy folks, your crazy is already on display. So we done seen the craziest she gonna get, or this could be movie TV magic.
Yeah. I want to trust her, but I don't.
Ooh.
I really don't.
Do you trust Lily's mama?
Well, I don't give a damn. I mean, she's just not. She's not even an important character. She's just there, like because Lily needs a parent, and the dad's. No, I don't like her because I think she probably the one that signed off on her going to the hospital, and I didn't like the way she was checking Ronnie and all of that hot jazz. So I don't know. I'm not even really thinking about it. But man, I want y'all to go back and look at this opening credit, man, because I think that's telling everything that's going to happen in this series, because you also have shots of people screaming, shooting in the air with Tommy guns. And also, if you look at the Red Band trailer, James Remar's character, he was like, what did he say exactly? I don't have it. Remember, it's like it's a plague. Or no, he said it's fear. It settles on everybody like a fog, and they show fog. And I'm thinking maybe the entity demon, the clown, possessed everybody, made them just afraid. Kind of like the Dark Knight. Yeah, the Dark Knight. No, Batman Begins. The fear toxin, and they try to release it and send the whole town crazy, and everybody kill everybody. I think something like that may happen. I could be wrong, but I think that I'm thinking that the government or the powers that be know that this demon creature is up and about, and they just gonna let it slide. Like, we can't do nothing about it. We're just gonna sweep it under the rug and don't come to Derry, because it was something else that General Shaw and that other guy said at the very beginning when he was talking about 300 years in the past. He was like, yes, because he said it showed itself in its many forms. So they know something. How do they know?
Because they know it's a creature. They know it's a creature. Well, we know how Shaw know it's a creature because he's had a close encounter with the creature. It's just that how do they know this history, prior to that with this entity, and how exactly do they think they're going to be able to manipulate and use this entity in combat? Is that the truth, or is that a lie? Or is that a lie?
Did the entity make a deal with Shaw?
He could. See, now you're going where I'm going when I was talking about why I trust Rose and whatever little insider secrets is going on up there, and why I don't trust Shaw. Now you done jumped on my ship.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking like, I'll leave you and yours alone if you don't expose me and let me kill the kids every few years. You know what I'm saying?
And give me a few sacrificial lambs.
Yeah, this is crazy, man. You got some final thoughts, Lamont?
Keep watching. This wasn't my favorite episode, but I think we're going to pick up some steam. get ready for episode 4.
Yes, I'm gonna go watch it right now. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we want to thank you so much for tuning in to our recap review for Welcome to Derry, episode 3, again titled Starting to Like Rainbows. It looks like episode 4 is 29 Nailbutt Street. That is very, very interesting. Sidebar that has nothing to do with the review. I know my hair is messed up right now. I am getting my braids done and haircut first thing in the morning. Well, Brandon, why didn't you wait until first thing in the morning to shoot this video so you're not looking a hot mess? Schedules, man. Neither one of us are available tomorrow or the next day, and these screeners do expire, so we're trying to get these recorded before that happens. If you are watching this on Lamont's channel, or subscribe to Lamont's channel, but if you're watching this on Lamont's channel, please subscribe to my channel. And if you're watching this on my channel, please subscribe to Lamont's channel. All of the information is in the description box of this video. But guys, we will be here same time, same place next week for episode 4. And until then, don't forget that I'm B. Avery. That's Lamont, and that's just our opinion. Peace out, and we'll see you. Oh, go check out all my Tyler Perry videos too. I got a whole 50 million, 11 of them. Go check out all the Tyler Perry videos. Peace out. We'll see you next time. Son of a bitch.